From 4 News Now, with live updates throughout the day, breaking news as it happens, and weather every 10 minutes. This is KXLY Plus.
Good afternoon. For 4 News Now, I'm Rob King. We have another edition of Meet the Team, this time with our newest MMJ and reporter. You may have already seen him out on the field. He's kind of hard to miss due to his height, but this is Hunter Bertram. Hunter.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well, and you did already mention my height. I'm 6'4", so if anyone sees me, make sure you wave at me and say hello. I'm really hard to miss, but if you miss me, you can always reach me at my emails and everything.
Yeah, I think you'll stand out in a crowd. I don't think people are going to be concerned. Hunter, let's start from the top. Where are you from?
Well, I'm actually from a town south of Minneapolis, so about 15 minutes south of Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's called Savage. Born and raised there, went to the University of Minnesota, graduated back in December, and made the big move out here to Spokane, Washington, about a 21-hour drive, and have been loving it ever since. So, yeah.
How was that drive?
Oh, it was long. It was long, and I can drive in the snow. I can drive in extreme weather. I am not good at mountain driving, so I was scared the whole time.
The ascending and the winding, is that where it gets
Yeah,
slimy?
a few tears were shed. I think it's 4th of July pass.
Yes.
I think I went through, and it was sleeting, snow, and I wanted to cry, but it's okay. I'll get over it.
White knuckling through Idaho?
I'm sure we all can relate. I'm sure we all can relate.
Yeah, we've all been there. So you are, like I said, our newest reporter. Have you always wanted to be in news?
Yeah, I got my, I guess, hook for news when I was a sophomore in high school. I did our school's newscast, which was called Eagle Eye. I went to Apple Valley High School, and from there I got to just tell a whole bunch of stories, got really involved back in the Twin Cities, and kind of decided, hey, this is going to be my future career, and this is what I'm going to do. So right now I'm loving it. I'm figuring it out as I go, and I'm really pumped that my dream kind of came true.
What's been something that, now that you're working in a professional newsroom, that was probably different than you thought? Maybe it was more challenging, or maybe something that was easier than you thought it would be?
I think definitely one thing that is really challenging for me is I'm held to a very high standard, especially for our viewers and those who watch KXLY. Really expect amazing journalism and accurate reporting, and that's really what I strive for, is really accurate and something that will, hopefully make you change your opinion or inform you. And I think that's been a little bit of a challenge, is to really hone in on my skills and, providing people with accurate and really informational reports. So that's been something that's been a little different, rather than a school news like what are people wearing, but
yeah, it can sometimes be a little challenging to try to dig deeper.
Yeah, it can be definitely a little challenging to dig deeper, but I think the more that I do, the more that I grow and learn as a journalist, and the more that I get in the community and meet people, the more I kind of understand what you guys are looking for me to report on and to tell.
And I think people kind of see that work and they appreciate it more. We do hear from people who appreciate the quality of the in-depth stuff that we do. So that's it's got to be nice to hear.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always nice to get nice emails. I've received a few so far, and it's always a positive feedback that I enjoy. But obviously, if there's negative feedback, I'll hear it too, sure. I guess.
Hunter, so you've been here a couple months now. How are you liking let's just talk about the city of Spokane.
Well, definitely did not expect how big it was. I had no idea how actually big. I had never visited before I came here and officially started working, so I've still kind of been shocked that there is a ginormous city. I know it's the biggest between Minneapolis and Seattle, but I really just have been getting involved in just what's about the community, what makes the community tick, what fun things are to do, and obviously I still really would like suggestions on the best pizza place, because I am having trouble finding it, but I'll figure it out eventually.
I'm a Market Street man myself. That is
okay.
That's the one I swear by, but
okay.
There's a couple of good spots.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I sort of had the same reaction when I moved here, because I came up from Tri-Cities, I drove through there, and then for a while it's flat and there's nothing. You're like, is there a city here? And then you do get to it, and yeah, it's gorgeous once you're here.
Right. As soon as you hit Coeur d'Alene and you start seeing civilization and people and mountains and lakes and beautifulness, and then you see Zips. You know you're in town if you see Zips. And
there you go.
I've tried it, and I would say Zips is really good.
Yeah,
I've only had it once.
Casual drive-through, it can hit the spot, depending on the time of night.
For sure.
Hunter, what type of stories do you like to cover? Are you more of a crime guy? Do you like more enterprise stuff? What are you looking at?
That's a really hard question, just because I think I'm a very young journalist and I'm still forming kind of what I like and what really makes me, feel very fulfilled. At the end of the day, I come from a area that's very, humanity-based stories, very, passion-driven, community. But I have found myself so far really enjoying different types of medical stories, technology. I've gotten to know about the elk and medical lake fires, and that really has been interesting to learn and grow as a journalist and understand how to tell those stories of those communities. So, nothing too specific right now, but I'm honing in on what I do like to do the more that I report.
Awesome. And do you have any hobbies, or what do you like to do in your spare time?
That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. I really like cars. I'm kind of weird. It's not weird to like cars, but I really like cars and all the tech things involving cars. But I also like cooking. I actually worked as a chef at a cooking school, so I taught people of all ages to cook for, I think I worked there for 6 years, doing birthday parties and corporate events of teaching teams of people how to cook. So I like to cook, I like cars, I like adventuring, really just everything. And once it gets warm, swimming, love it.
How do you teach big groups of people to cook? What's your big cooking advice?
Big cooking advice: make sure your knife is sharp. Make sure your food isn't expired.
Oh, that's a good one.
And one thing I like to say: if there's mold on cheese, just cut off the mold, because you still can eat the cheese. So,
is that true?
I want to say it is. I'm not going to say quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure. It's what I was taught, at least at the school I worked at.
Right. Well, you heard it here. Hunter, where can people get in touch with you? How can they follow along with what you're doing?
Yeah, well, you can reach me at any of my social medias. Hunter_Bertram is my Instagram. Hunter Bertram TV is my Twitter, my Facebook. I think I have a TikTok too. I don't use it too much, but I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And you can also email me at h and then bertram@kxly.com. That's another easy way to reach me. And obviously, you can find this all on kxly.com.
Awesome. Hunter, thank you so much. I know you're working on a story today, so I'll let you get back to it. Appreciate you taking the time, and hopefully people watching got to know you a little better.
All right. Well, I appreciate you welcoming me to the team. Thanks, Rob.
Yep. Thanks, Hunter. If you missed some of this interview, you can watch the whole thing on kxly.com in just a moment. Coming up in about 30 minutes or so, I'm going to be speaking with one of our reporters, Bronte Saratsky, to preview the story that she's working on today about a chemical that they can give you if you're overdosing on fentanyl. It's something that would work in tandem with Narcan, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a bit. But for now, live in studio, I'm Rob King for 4 News Now.